30 is when you walk into a bar or a VFW, and in that 30 seconds, you can already tell.
That guy right there is drunk, that guy's an idiot, and that guy down there knows it all.
There are programs out there beyond the VA.
Many non-profit organizations. The Beer30 Show.
It's the Beer30 Show. Made by veterans.
For veterans.
Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting from Colorado and Florida, brought to you by Common Ground Golf Course here in Aurora, Colorado. It is another edition of the Beer30 Show with Danny and Joel. Thanks once again for tuning in, everyone. We really appreciate it. Everybody knows that it is a Military Monday, and we always have a nonprofit that has something to do with the military. We have them on the line, and we're going to be talking with them. Today's subject is hunting. These guys do a lot of hunting, and he's going to tell you a little bit about themselves. He's going to help you guys understand exactly what inspired them to do what they're doing. And Danny is... Yeah, you're supposed to wear that, Danny.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Danny's showing me a shirt. Like I said, when you listen to this, you can either... that's just great. Okay, so I accidentally screwed up, and we had dead air, so now we're just now on air. But that's okay. You can listen to the podcast and hear it. Whatever. Anyways, so
you guys gotta give him credit. He is Army, not Navy. He doesn't have as intelligent, aspects as we do. So it's okay, Joel. It's okay. We'll forgive you. We understand.
Last week, what happened was I accidentally didn't hit the button, so I didn't record like 45 seconds of the time. If nobody knows, I'm in Colorado and Danny is in Florida, and literally the way I have it set up is kind of like backyard. Like I got 2 microphones and then a speaker set up to where Danny's talking out of. So I have a lot of screens and a lot of buttons that I'm actually pushing. So
one's a big red one, and the other one has a picture of a potato. Don't let him confuse you guys. That's what he's got.
Wow. Anyways, without further ado, we have Anthony Pace on the phone line. Anthony, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Already this morning, we've already got into a little debacle, but yeah, that's okay. That's all right. So how are you today?
Oh, doing fine, guys. It's a pleasure to be on your show. And Danny, great to meet you. Joe, I've known for quite a while, so great to be part of the show. Appreciate you guys getting word out about all the great causes out there and having fun as well. So anyway, glad to be on the show.
Well, we're glad you could be here today, Anthony. So you're part of the Freedom Hunters. Could you tell us about the Freedom Hunters and how that organization got started?
Very good. Yeah, Freedom Hunters, it's a military outreach program. We're 100% volunteer organization, and our goal is to get servicemen and women, as well as their families, families of the fallen and kids that are deployed, out on outdoor adventures. And mainly we do hunting, fishing, and shooting adventures all across the United States and even some international trips. But, we get out close to 1,000 servicemen and their family members on an annual basis. And it's great. We do everything from, upland hunting to big game hunting to fly fishing, deep sea fishing, and then some shooting events. So if you hear gunfire in the background, I'm okay. I'm actually out in Vegas right now at the range, and we've got part of the SHOT Show. They have the industry day at the range, so I'm sitting out at the range probably 100 yards from Gunny in the Glock booth. And, we've got firearms going off up and down the firing line today. So.
Oh, well, maybe if we're lucky, if Joel hears a gunshot, maybe he'll grab the teddy bear nearest him and start cuddling.
Shoot. No, no, Anthony knows me pretty well. For some reason, with my PTSD, I can't fire an arm, but
well, I don't think an arm is meant to be able to fire unless you're RoboCop.
Well, you know what I mean. No, I can't fire weapons, but that's one thing I was gonna have Anthony tell you about is I know that Freedom Hunters, they have more than just hunts, and I don't know what are those plates that flings up in the air and you shoot them. I don't know what that's called. Don't laugh at me, Danny. I don't know what I'm talking about. At least I'm asking.
Yeah, we've got a Laporte archery target thrower, so it throws frisbee size discs up in the air, or you can actually it basically goes 180 degrees, so you can either throw them straight up in the air or roll them across the ground. And then we've got archery equipment where you can try to shoot the target out of the air. So it's pretty much like skeet with a bow and arrow.
Right. Okay.
That's awesome. See, I'd totally be into that. And with the whole Mockingjay Hunger Games out there, my wife really wants to get into this archery stuff now, so that works out great.
Oh,
I can't even see Holly with a crossbow.
You couldn't? Oh, I can see with bow and arrow. it'd be kind of funny.
We'll work on you, Joel.
Well, the one thing that I was gonna say was I was kind of leaning towards another direction, but you do fishing trips as well.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we've got some really great fishing opportunities that we've got in Colorado, out on the East Coast. My East Coast guys do quite a bit of fishing there in the Chesapeake Bay area, and around Cape Hatteras. So we've got opportunities that come up across the country. We've gone up to Nebraska and done some fishing up there as well. So we try to create opportunities all across the country, and then we just never know from year to year. We'll get new offers from landowners or sportsmen that really want to do something to give back to you guys for all you've done to protect the freedoms.
Oh,
now do you fly? Do you ever fly soldiers in, or is it one of those you guys create the event and you guys only are able to accommodate the soldiers that live within that event?
But we try to keep things within the logistical area of where the servicemen are, and there's a few opportunities a year where we'll spend the extra money and do some fly-in trips, but for the most part, as a nonprofit, we try to be very conscientious of the money that comes in and use it pretty wisely. So that like the 900 plus servicemen that we got out this year, we averaged out year-end stuff, and we ended up spending right around $27, $28 per person for each outing. And that's including some of the high-end kind of stuff where we're doing international stuff, going into Canada for bears or things along that line. So it's, ideally if we can get guys that can drive to an event, we're better off and can spend our money a little bit wiser that way.
Okay. I'm not sure if you actually answered this. I was actually looking at Joel and getting confused by looking at this bright, shiny spot on his head. But do you guys allow families to go on these adventures as well, or is it just the service members?
It all depends on the particular outing. We do have some opportunities where we can invite the family members, but the opportunities come to us normally from a sportsman or from an outfitter, and that they'll have specific requests. Whether it be, I'd like to take a family member of a fallen serviceman, or I want to take some wounded guys, or it's an opportunity where we can take maybe someone that's severely wounded. And then there's other opportunities where, taking a severely wounded guy, on a flooded timber hunt for ducks, really wouldn't work because you got to, trudge through some pretty murky waters, to get to the hunting area. So for those kind of opportunities, we'll pick guys that are, more able-bodied. But again, we like to have opportunities for families to get together. We will normally have a military family day where it's kind of a cast and blast. We'll have some shotgun opportunities and fishing opportunities, and just a chance for people to relax with their families. And I think it's important to do that.
Now, you don't happen to take these military members around like Dan Quayle or Dick Cheney, do you? Because that'd just be bad.
That's why Joel has most of his PTSD issues is from that Dick Cheney hunt.
I was wondering where it all came from. At least you clarified that.
I hate to break the news, but that's where it came from.
Yeah, if a lot of people might not understand that reference and that joke, what was it back in the... I was
going to say, I'm like clueless over here. I'll just admit it right now.
Isn't it back in or was it early 1990s when Dick Cheney shot Dan Quayle on a hunt or something like that? I think it was that, or it was opposite. I don't remember exactly what it was.
He didn't shoot Dan Quayle, but he was on a quail hunt, and one of his buddies that was hunting with him, he followed the quail through and ended up pulling the trigger and shooting one of his buddies in the head. So.
Oh, okay. That's what I always thought it was.
All was well in the end, but I imagine that guy's not hunting with him anymore.
No, he's actually sitting here doing the podcast with us now.
Hey, now. Well, hey, let me remind everybody, if you are listening in and you have a question for Anthony, feel free to call in. The text number, call-in number is 720-316-0368. And what we don't ask Anthony, you guys are more than welcome to get online and ask him yourself. So what I was going to ask is, there's a lot of warriors that did their time in the service and that don't necessarily want to admit that they have PTSD or want to admit that they have TBI. There's some that don't even enroll into the VA to get compensation. I was at a military reunion this last weekend, and I talked to two of my battle buddies that they're messed up, but they haven't put their rating in the VA just because they don't feel that they deserve it, because they don't have a visual injury. With this being said, Anthony, is there any regulations on who is able to come on the hunting trips or the fishing trips? Do you have guidelines like some nonprofits do?
Pretty much if you've served, you're welcome on our outings. There are specific outings where whoever is hosting the event will request, certain aspects for a guy, but for the most part, like our family fishing and cast and blast days, if you've served, you're welcome to come. So we've taken, Vietnam vets. We've been out with Korean War vets. So, most of our focus is on post 9/11. But realistically, in our opinion, if you've served, we want to say thank you.
And we want to say we thank you, Anthony, for helping us out and for getting guys like me and Danny out of the house, because sometimes I don't know why it didn't used to be so hard for me, but as I've grown older and as more things have happened in my life, like when my mother died, I don't know why, but I find it harder to get out.
Yeah, we see that a lot, and I think it's easy to fall into a rut, and find yourself, sitting on the couch, listening to podcasts, like a lot of other losers out there. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. No. But no, it's easy to do, to get into the rut of staying home and being in your own comfort zone. And before you know it, you're crawling into a shell. And that's what we like to do is to get guys out and get some of that camaraderie again. Most of the things we have, there's more than one bear at each event. So it's nice to be able to, get back into, part of why you guys love to serve was, that family and camaraderie that you have with those that you serve with. And I think that's important for guys that have been out, and some of the injuries keep them on the couch, and they just start feeling sorry for themselves, like they can't go out and do things. And the nice part with us is, once we get them out and show them that, hey, you can do stuff still. It may be a little different than it was in the past, but there's still a lot of fun things that you can do, and you can still have some of that camaraderie with people you serve with.
Yeah, if I was living closer to Joel, I'm sure he would be out of the house a lot more. Take him like bungee jumping or something, skydiving.
That would be
without
good.
the parachute.
Try to see if I can paint a tunnel on a wall, see if he'll run through it. He might.
Wow.
He's that tough. I think he could.
Yeah, I think he could. Just right through the brick wall. Head first, Joel. We're going to see if we can do it head first, okay? So how does one apply to your guys' foundation there, the Freedom Hunters?
Yeah, you go to freedomhunters.org. Second button on the top says apply. And so all you have to do is hit that and apply. I've noticed recently that people on mobile devices have a hard time actually getting it to go through. So I've got to talk to our web guy and see if we can fix that. But, it's a simple application. We really don't ask any, perfect questions or embarrassing questions or anything along that line. So it's simply, tell us a little bit about your service and your contact information. And then what we do is, as we get opportunities in that area, we'll give you a shout and see if you want to come join us.
Well, do you guys have any upcoming events going on here soon?
We've got stuff going on all the time. So, it just depends on the location and where we're going. Right now, we've got waterfowl hunts that are going on, all across the U.S. And, fishing will be kicking in pretty soon. So,
oh yeah.
And our first, family cast and blast, we're looking at May 28th up near Fort Collins, Colorado.
Oh, nice.
And then my East Coast guys got some stuff going on out there too. So it's just, like I say, it's nonstop. We've got stuff going on pretty much every month.
You got to let me know if you come out here to Jacksonville, because that's where I'm at. I just moved here about 2 weeks ago. So let me know if you come to Jacksonville, and I'm going to have to hook up with you guys out here.
We've got a few more things going on in Florida this year than we've had. So definitely love to hook up with you.
Yeah, that'd be great. So how many other ways can people help you guys out? I mean, besides the donations and stuff like that, what other ways can people help you guys?
If you're a sportsman and you have opportunities, land to hunt, lakes or whatever, boats where you can help get guys out, let us know. Because again, we're all volunteers, and the opportunities that come our way and are created by, fellow sportsmen that have, either they have the opportunity themselves or they know of an opportunity with a family member or a friend. So that's how most of our outings have come to be, is through people just basically saying, hey, I love to waterfowl hunt, so let me take a couple guys out. And it's kind of nice because it gives the civilians out there an opportunity to say thank you to those that serve. And then also, we get a lot of opportunities from fellow veterans that say, hey, I've served, I've come back, uninjured, but I want to share my passion for the outdoors with the fellow servicemen. It's really a neat opportunity to share what we enjoy to do in the great outdoors.
Okay. So would you say the water quail is like one of your favorite things to do, or?
Everything. I really, I really like to see it all and do it all as a sportsman myself. I'm not really the best at any hunting and fishing technique out there at all, but I like to get out there and experiment and try different things and do something that I've never done before. So, and I think that's the way a lot of the guys are that we take out. They like to, some of them may have grown up, back east deer hunting, and all they know how to do is sit in a deer stand. But to get them out and show them a new aspect, a new how to hunt waterfowl or upland birds or something like that. It's really pretty neat to expose people to new and different hunting opportunities, fishing opportunities.
So I got a couple more questions for you. Do you guys have like a program for people like Joel where you guys have to like shoot a stuffed animal that's just standing there? Or,
Well, there's a lot of guys with, PTSD or TBI that don't want to participate in shooting sports. And that's where, the fishing aspects come in. And, we've got, a couple sponsors that, will donate, box seats at Avalanche game or Rockies. And Joel came out one time. He had one of them had a VIP night with the Nuggets. So we got to go shoot some hoops down at the Pepsi Center and have some good food and play some games and stuff. So
I remember that night. That night was awesome.
Yeah.
Joel, did you get a balloon and some cotton candy that night?
Yes, I did. Don't hate. I know you want to hate, but just don't hate. Just appreciate.
All right. Well, Anthony, we're going to get closing this up. So if you would like to put out your information of your website and what people can do to help you out, and then if there's anything else you'd like to say, you have about 2 minutes.
Very good. Well, you can look us up on Facebook at freedomhunters.com. Our website is www.freedomhunters.org. Sorry, it's not .com. But we're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Check us out. If you're a serviceman and you're wanting an opportunity to get down, fill out an application. We'd love to take you out and show you what the great outdoors can do for you. And, if you've got opportunities where you want to share with fellow servicemen and get them out, show them your passion in the great outdoors, get in touch with us. We love to create new opportunities and get more people outdoors.
Well, Anthony, thank you very much for being on our show. If there's anything you'd like to say to all the veterans out there, feel free to do so.
Yeah, if Anthony, you might have, maybe I've missed it, but if you have a website, go ahead and throw that out there. So
You already did, Joel. We're good.
Okay.
Joel stepped away, but sometimes since he was in the Army, you got to speak in phonics with him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So anyway, Anthony.
Anyway, thank you guys very much for your service. Appreciate it greatly for all the men and women out there that have served over the years. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And God bless you all.
All right, and thank you, Anthony.
Thanks, Anthony. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds great, guys. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that was Anthony from Freedom Hunters. And we have reached our 2-minute warning. That was a lousy siren. So there we go. We'll use that siren real quick. Sorry, I hit the Joel siren first, and then I had to hit the real siren.
You know what, dude? I tell you what, I'm today has been like one of the unluckiest days. So we usually broadcast our show on Periscope. That didn't happen because something's wrong with Periscope right now.
Oh, great.
And then I went to hit the button for us to air. And, well, the whole beginning, everything, people didn't get to hear it. It was just dead air because I accidentally didn't hit the button. And then while you were talking, the reason why I was stepping out is my dogs, they're worse than kids. I have like a barrier in front of the doggy door to keep them outside because they want to bark at everything. It's like my dogs are racist or something. If it's not a white person, they're gonna bark as soon as they get out of their car. And it's like, ugh. So to everybody, I really apologize. Danny, thanks for stepping in and helping me out there for a few.
Don't worry, Joe. I'm used to it.
Oh, wow. You know what? Hey, let's talk about used to. All 4 of my picks this weekend.
Yes, you picked one.
Perfect.
And only one of mine won.
Really?
Yeah, only the Patriots are the only ones that I've said that we're going to win. The other 3 I thought was going to be upsets, but I'm more of the underdog. I like the underdogs. So
the only reason why I was kind of worried that we would lose, that the Broncos would lose against the Steelers, is because every game that the Broncos is supposed to lose, against the Bengals, against the Patriots, they've upset it. So if you ask me right now who I think is going to win between Denver and Patriots, I would say the Patriots. But Denver has played their best football when they're the underdogs at home.
Well, I guess we'll find out. I was actually kind of shocked that you guys pulled it out last night. I was watching it, and I was like, I just couldn't believe some of the stuff that was going on. I mean, in all reality, the Broncos shouldn't have won yesterday. Your receivers couldn't catch. Like, I think Helen Keller could have been better than your guys' receivers yesterday.
Oh no, Helen Keller, that's given her or them too much credit, dude. Nobody could catch.
They couldn't, dude.
They couldn't.
They hit them chests, they hit them hands, and even my wife was like, "Man, they suck."
I know, right?
And for Holly to tell me that a team sucks, that's pretty bad because she doesn't even watch football.
Yeah,
She's like, they went to the playoffs? Yeah, that's exactly how she put it, too. I was like, yeah.
It's because of our defense.
Yeah.
It's because of our defense. And then I knew that Carolina would beat Seattle, but, you're not the only one that thought that Seattle would win. I saw a lot of people pick Seattle, but...
Well, to be honest, the Seattle-Carolina game, I had an idea that the Panthers were going to win, but I was hoping for the Seahawks to win. And because the Seahawks are one of those teams that if you get picked against them, they're going to win.
Right.
It's just that was a anyway game, at least to me. And they almost did come back and did do something in that second half.
Yeah, they did. It was like they pulled a Bronco. Let's score 27 points and then let the Steelers come back.
Yeah.
And
then the game that surprised me the most was the Packers, though. I thought the Packers should have had that game. And I'll tell you what, it was both sides of the ball, but the officiating was terrible in that game. It was downright atrocious. I couldn't believe the calls that were and were not made. It was just –
I didn't want Green Bay to win just because I don't feel that – I don't feel that Green Bay deserves to be in that position. I don't think they deserve to be where they are. Just like Seattle against Carolina. It's the only reason why I didn't want Seattle to win is because they didn't deserve it. They won because of a mess up, because of a kicker from Minnesota. Now, when it comes to the Broncos and the Patriots next week, I'm going to root for the Broncos. I think 90% of the population is going to root for Broncos because
nobody likes the Patriots.
Only people that like the Patriots are from Boston.
Yeah, and then most Raider fans, we were Raider fans and we're fans of whoever's playing the Patriots. So
Yeah.
that's just how it works. I was actually surprised Kansas City didn't pull it out. I thought they might actually had a chance to pull that out, but they just need a better offense. They were dropping the ball like crazy too.
It would
So
have been different. It would have been different if it was in Kansas City. I'm telling you, Danny. It's something about Foxborough. Teams get intimidated, and the only reason why the Eagles won against Tom Brady that one time is because at the last second, Tom Brady threw an interception. That's it. That's the only reason why.
And I wasn't too happy about the officiating in that game either,
You're
because
just not very happy with any
all right,
officiating.
all right. So no, this is I'm gonna do something, especially since I can do this for the listeners and everything else.
Okay.
I'm going to share screens. Do you see this right here?
Okay.
All right, you see this picture?
Yeah.
This is where Tom Brady threw the ball right there. Do you see that ball? Now, do you see the line of scrimmage? They called this going past the line of scrimmage. So it was not an intentional grounding. That's
okay.
how bad the officiating was. That's 2 yards off, buddy. 2 yards.
That's what happens when you play at home, dude. When you play at home,
I know, right?
You're always gonna get calls for you compared to the visiting team. But I've always said that. But you know what my cousin said, and he's exactly right. If a game depends on the officiating, on who wins or loses that game, then you don't deserve to win that game because you let it get that close. And he's exactly right.
Yeah. It was a close game. I still think the Chiefs should have pulled it out, and I still think the officiating was bad, but the Patriots probably still would have won that game.
You know, the one thing that I'm really upset with the NFL about this year is the NFL needs consistency. You know, they're gonna call a defenseless receiver. They're gonna call one, and they need to call the other. Like yesterday was a good example. I think it was Amendola. I forget who it was, but the Patriots fan right on the kick return just
that was Danny Amendola. Yeah,
just levels them out. Now, people, that's basically the same thing that happened in the Bengals and Steelers game. Burke leveled that guy out. I mean, what's the difference?
There's no difference. And
he should be punished. He should be fined.
But he's not going to be because he's a Patriot.
Exactly. Patriots don't get in trouble, people, if you haven't realized that.
You haven't realized, especially after the last, I don't know how many gates do they have. They have the tuck rule, the flake gate, spy gate. I mean, after everything, and they still haven't gotten in trouble for it. What makes you think?
And you know what? A lot of people don't like Sherman, but man, that guy is so right, and he was so smart. Like last year, he said that Brady would not get in trouble with the deflate gate because Kraft and Goodell are great friends.
Yeah, well, it's going to be like that. So, speaking of, since we are pretty much out of time, who are your picks? Obviously, you want the Broncos to beat the Patriots, but let's be realistic here, Joel. Who do you think is going to
be realistic? I think in the Super Bowl now, I think it's going to be the Pats, and I think it's going to be the Carolina Panthers. Arizona's a great team, but Carson Palmer is not the same quarterback on the road. And I don't believe in Carson Palmer. But this is a fact. Whoever wins next week
will be in the Super Bowl.
The first Heisman quarterback to make it to the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yes.
Because
the first Heisman, can you believe because Adam Schefter reported this, the first Heisman winner to win a playoff game was Tim Tebow.
So we're talking about Carson Palmer and Cam Newton.
Yes.
Okay, because I know Brady wasn't there. So, but yeah, so my picks, I I see it being the Patriots and the Carolina Panthers as well. But I'm hoping for the Broncos and the Cardinals because I really don't want to see the Patriots there again.
I don't want to see the Patriots either, man.
I just want to see. I want to see them get rocked so hard that Brady has to retire.
I don't want to see the Patriots in there, but then again, I almost don't want the Broncos to be in the Super Bowl because I'm worried it's going to be another like 48-8 kind of Super Bowl. Because I'll tell you right now, dude, there's no way the Broncos can even come close to beating Carolina or Arizona. They would kill us.
Yeah. Well, anyway, everybody, we are out of time. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today.
Yes, and I forgot we forgot to mention. We'll mention it real quick. So, 2-minute warning was brought to you by Common Ground Golf Course here in Aurora, Colorado. A place for all and all the game teaches. Co-hosting with Tee It for the Troops. The thing that I learned today is you just have to be a veteran and you can go on a Freedom Hunters hunt. So that's what that's what I learned today. So everybody's listening. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. One real quick, Danny, what did you learn?
Well, when I heard Freedom Hunters, I was thinking of Ghost Hunters, so I thought we'd be hunting like freedom. But but no, I didn't realize that it was for anybody, any veteran, and not just disabled veterans. So that's very nice, and that's something I can do too. But yeah, I didn't forget about the whole Tee It Up for the Troops or the Common Ground Golf Course. Joel, I was about to do it right before you cut me off.
Oh, sorry about that.
Because I realized we didn't do it either.
Sorry.
So that's okay. It's okay. We got it covered. That's all that matters. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and I hope you had a good time. I know we did. And I am out of here.
All right, everybody. We will see you guys next Friday. I forget who we speak to, but it will be a notable person. And until then, we'll see you Friday. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
And now, a message from your radio station.
We just like to say that any connection between your mother and us is purely Facebook related.
NBR Radio.